We are live. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's perfect. Well, welcome to High Vibrational Events presents Conversations with C. I am so excited to introduce to you our amazing guest tonight, physical medium Julie Adreani. We are honored to have Julie with us tonight and cannot wait to hear all about her work and experiences. So sit back, relax, and get ready to connect with the spiritual world in a whole new way. Please join me in welcoming Julie Adreani.
Thank you, Megan. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm honored. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. And I know it takes a few minutes for everybody to get here. And I'm going to do a little bit of sharing out as well to make sure it's in all the right groups. And although it did go live. Actually, you know what? Now, the way it is now, wherever I've posted the promo, this is live automatically.
Oh,
so
great.
Thank you for sharing. So I'm just going to leave it up to everybody else to share for us. Hello, Tracy King. Hello from Perth, Western Australia. And hello, Stacy McMullen. Thank you for sharing, Kimmy. Thank you. You're all amazing. So come on in. So Julie, all right. So while everybody's gathering in here, I don't want anybody to miss anything exciting, but it's all exciting. Hi, Marie. Welcome. I know you know each other, right?
Oh, hi, Marie.
Yeah, Julie and Marie, Crystal Seeker, Mary. Oh, yeah, everybody's coming in. Wanda, hello.
Hey.
Hello. Super excited. You're all amazing. And we're so glad that you're here. Get your questions ready, guys, because I've got a ton of amazing questions to ask Julie. But I also welcome, we welcome all of your questions. And I will ask the best and most pertinent and hopefully not redundant because I'm excited here too. And, but I'm just, hello, John. I love you, John. You're amazing. Bonnie, hello. Welcome. And hi to Brian, too, your husband. And hello, Andrea from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Wendy Drowns. Tomato says, probably is it D'Amato or Diamato? Hi,
Tomato.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome. So let's start off by so a few years ago, I had the honor and pleasure of working with you. I interviewed you on my first show, which everybody, I'll let you know, watch from my YouTube channel because I'm going to bring that beautiful interview back out of the archives and you'll be able to watch that. Julie talks about her past and everything, and it's amazing. But right now, to get us started, if you would like to give us a little bit of information about how you started in mediumship or why physical mediumship, I'll just I'll hand you the ball, I'll pass it over and let you just unfold and however you'd like.
Okay. Well, when I was about 3 or 4, I was always seeing a guide. Now I know he was a guide, but at the time I was afraid of him. I thought he was the boogeyman. He had a hat on and he was always standing at the door in my room.
Okay.
So he was with me for quite a while. And, I thought it was normal. And I've always had a lot of kinetic energy. Okay. At that time, up until I was 12 or 13, I was turning off lights, street lights.
Wow.
My sister would pull me under the street light for fun, so the lights would go off. I was always able to feel current. Anytime I would touch metal or anything, I could feel this weird kind of current. So I still really don't know what that was, but I could sense, and I was oversensitive to energy. Yeah, wow. So when I was about 8 years old, my sister and I were playing that Miss Mary Mac game, with your hands. And I received my first apport. It was a beautiful, dainty embroidered handkerchief that landed on my left shoulder. And it just came out of the ceiling. So, of course, at the time, I didn't know what that was, but we knew that it was something weird, And later on, I found out that was from my grandmother.
Wow.
So I've always been psychic. I've always, heard, but I want to say I'm very normal. I got married young. I have 5 children. I have 11 grandchildren, and we have a blended family now, so we even have more. So I'm very normal. I never wanted to be the weird mom for my kids, So I kind of practiced on the sly. I was always reading for my friends, reading coffee cups,
Okay.
things like that. So it wasn't until later on in my life that I thought, okay, it's really starting to get strong. The physical things were happening. My intercom in my house was going on a certain time every night. I was hearing voices coming out of it, spirits talking. Just so much was happening because I didn't have an outlet for all this energy.
This is before you got into any kind of mediumship, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I was always reading cards psychically,
So
but
that
not
was
professionally. But I was reading for my girlfriends, for my family. I was always doing that, but not publicly.
okay.
So there was like a catalyst when I moved into this other house that had all these electronics and built-in things. And I thought I was hearing first things from the airport. Like I heard people having conversations. I heard, music at a certain time every day, certain song would come on. And when my first husband passed away,
Sorry.
this was years later, I started hearing his voice in my head all the time. So there was a period of about 8 years where until I met my current husband, John, it was chatter all the time, every day. Like just constant knowing someone was there speaking. Right. Let me think now. So I decided finally when my kids got a little older and I had more time to start studying professionally. Because really, if you think about it, back then, if you didn't go to Arthur Finley, there was really nowhere to go.
Wow. What are we talking like the 80s? I mean, when you say back then,
yeah, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
There really was no online anything.
That's true.
So as soon as James Van Praagh got his online school going, I signed up. And
you studied with James Van Praagh years ago.
Mm-hmm. So
I know you've taken all of his courses and you've actually worked on stage with him as well, right?
Yes, he would take his students on stage and, give us a lot of different opportunities.
Wow.
So yes. But so I thought about trance and I knew that I was starting to wonder about physical mediumship. So in 2013 was my very first circle that I sat in. Someone had a little paranormal shop, and after hours, we would all meet every Wednesday.
Cool.
Well, but that didn't last long because everybody started getting afraid. We had some levitation there. We had all kind of bumps, noises, things tipping over. So it only lasted a couple months, and then they didn't understand physical mediumship, and I really didn't either. But I knew
when you say levitation, and I know some people are wondering, do you mean people levitating or objects levitating?
Objects.
Okay.
Objects. Things coming off the shelf and floating very gently and landing in front of me on the table. Wow. Like nothing that was like chaotic. It was all smooth and like intentionally, it was kind of wild. So I kind of couldn't blame them for not wanting to stay in the circle. It was all new, too freaky for them. So I was always sitting in the power, but I really didn't put a name to it because I would always meditate for about an hour and a half. And people would walk in my house and they'd say, God, it feels like a church in here. Your house is peaceful. But, they could feel that energy. And that was the front room where I always sat. And I called it my angel room, and my kids did too. And they would tell their friends, don't go there, especially if you see the mist, because literally it would get foggy.
I know exactly what you're saying, and I love that. So it's foggy in your house, a beautiful mist of spirit or the spirit energy.
Yes. But so the very first time I decided I wanted to get all my mental mediumship development down pat and kind of feel comfortable with that. And once I started feeling comfortable, I thought, okay, then I'm going to try trance. It's something that I've wanted to do for such a long time. But it kind of scared me years ago, but it's almost like I knew it was going to change my life once I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So the very first time I sat for trance, I totally transfigured.
Wow.
I had like this crazy dark mustache, crazy dark hair. And it was, when I saw, I was like, wow, because it was in a group online where it was recorded.
Okay.
So, and I was glad that I waited because I would have never known that that was happening if I just did it myself. I mean, it could have been happening when I was sitting by myself.
Sure.
But I didn't know it.
Right.
I mean, I knew the room got misty, but when you're sitting by yourself, you don't know what's going on.
So transfiguration. I want you to know, guys, we're going to talk about all of this. We have an amazing presentation that Julie's going to walk us through later. And so we're going to, if you're hearing words that you don't understand, I know a lot of you do, but there's some of you that may not. And don't worry about it because we're going to cover that. And if something doesn't get covered, please feel free to ask. All right. So I'm sorry to interrupt. Please continue, Julie.
So that's about it. And I never really wanted to work publicly. I really had never planned on it. I mean, I had a full life already, but there was a few accidents, and my middle son was in an accident where he actually was pronounced dead in the hospital where I worked. It was on a motorcycle, and he lost his leg, was amputated on the scene. So it was then like I made a deal. It's like you make a deal with God.
Yeah.
If you can just get us through this, I promise I'll do whatever I can to help anybody else for the rest of my life. So that's really what set me working with the public.
So is that what inspired you, or the catalyst that got you working with physical mediumship with the public, or all mediumship with the public?
Mediumship.
Okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can certainly understand that. Wow. And you were telling me off camera that you had your first apport at the age of 8.
Yeah, that was that handkerchief coming down
from your
ceiling.
Amazing, yeah. Amazing. Hi, hi, Milana. She goes, what a beautiful commitment to spirit, Julie.
Oh, thank you.
I love it. So is there anything else you want to share about the past, or are we up to date and we'll start, we'll do the
yeah, I think that people know me from Facebook, or I'm very open. I'm out there, and if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, I would rather you get your questions asked.
Okay. So let's do it. I mean, you're amazing, and I'm so glad that you're here. And again, I'll be bringing your past interview out of the archives if anybody wants to know more about your background and all of that. But thank you for catching us up, because when I interviewed you last time, I don't believe you were sitting for physical yet. I knew you were sitting for trance because I've had the honor to sit with you before in Julie Ketel's circles. Yes. Several years ago. And I remember you were amazing then. But this is something that, I think, how long have you been doing, let's start right there. How long have you been sitting for physical?
Officially, probably 3.5 years. But don't forget, I was sitting at 2013, and then I would just sit at home, but it wasn't in a cabinet, but it was in a sacred space in the same chair all the time.
Okay.
But officially, I started a physical mediumship group. It was probably over 3 years ago. And I think if Kimmy's here, my circle leader is on too, because our circle, it's a hybrid circle.
Okay. Kimmy Angelique, I don't see her yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing her tonight. If you're here, say hi, Kimmy.
Okay. And then, if you wanted anybody, I don't know if Andrea and I know Wendy have witnessed, if you wanted to ask anybody what they've witnessed through my meeting.
Andrea is actually saying, she goes, I have been honored to observe Julie in trance while she did physical mediumship. Through her deep work with spirit, tiny jewels reigned and were found all over the floor. Larger jewels that I took to a reputable jeweler who identified them as real. Wow. She, as do many physical mediums, had what is called trumpets. Through these, spirit spoke, sorry, I'm spitting, spirit spoke and answered questions for those of us who were sitters. How fabulous is that? Oh my God.
It's wild, right? It's so exciting, everything that spirit does. And why, Nancy, why I call it a hybrid circle is because it's different. Most in-home circles are only in person. So I didn't have anybody. My husband works 24-hour shifts a lot. So I didn't have a regular day when I could do it. So we started doing it online. And now we open it to in-person sitters in my home.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to like say, okay, guys, I don't need you anymore after they've been sitting for me for 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
And it was wonderful what we've had, because we've had trumpet levitation with just online sitters. It's fabulous.
So, okay, so you're in your home, people are online, and the trumpet within your home levitates by itself. I mean, with spirit, obviously, but
yes.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
They move it with the ectoplasm. The ectoplasm goes in and it forms ectoplasmic rods. But I mean, they can go really fast. We've had up to like 4 or 5 trumpets up at the same time.
How many trumpets do you usually have in the room with you in the first place?
Well, I have like a collection of 6 metal ones, just because when I find them, I want to buy them, you know, because I just like them. But now I have enough. But I also have 2 that I made that I first started using out of cardboard, and they work just as well.
Wow. So any kind of trumpet. So it can be, it's so interesting that you're saying this. I was just.
You want me to show you one?
Yeah. You have one nearby?
You would want to see them. Hold on. I'll get one.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, hi, Janine. Good to see you, friend. Good to see you. Janine's another amazing trance medium that I interviewed several times. It's been a while, but yeah, you're amazing. You're all amazing. I know Marie is an amazing medium. Anyway, I'm just so excited that Julie's here. She's going to show us trumpets. Spirit has also moved ping pong balls. I still have not been to a physical, and I didn't know Julie or anybody did these online. I didn't know about the hybrid circles.
So. Yeah, we've been working with ping pong balls. It took about 3 months. We were leaving them out, and you might have a picture of them. And the one night I said, you know, are you going to move tonight? And they said, just take 3, because originally I had like 7 or 8 of them out. And the sitters could see the work, the ectoplasm and the vernundum working around the balls. Mm-hmm. And then one night, all over the place. Wendy can tell you about that.
Wow.
People were screaming because they didn't expect it.
Oh my God. Because of the green screen, it's going to kind of may not. Oh my gosh. So it's not like a trumpet.
It's not a regular trumpet. And so when they're in the cabinet, I leave them like this. So when spirit starts to move them, you'll know, because you hear the rattle.
Oh, wow.
Start rattling around before one gets lifted. And then all of a sudden, when they lift, they expand.
Wow. I've never even seen one of those before.
We have like glow in the dark, little tabs around the bottom.
Okay. Yes, I see those.
You can see them.
So you can see the glow in the dark tabs on the trumpet if it's levitating or.
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious. Totally amazing. Totally amazing. Do you want to dive into the presentation and then we'll keep talking and people will have some things to look at?
Yep, that sounds good.
All right, cool. So I just made this little presentation with these amazing photographs and some videos that Julie shared with me, so we can share them with you guys. So I am going to get myself to the right page so I can move it right along. And first up.
Okay, so there you can see the trumpet, one of the trumpets. And then in the middle where the arrow is pointing, that's a little lady that we see come in. Now she's been coming in and materializing for about 3 years, because I look back on old photos. She's there. She's always there. So that's actually a tiny person manifested. I don't know if it's a child, but it's always the same outline, exactly the same. And then if you look up to your right, up there, it looks like red flame, right?
Yeah.
That's bubbly live ectoplasm, and it's taken on the red light color.
Wow. So that's ectoplasm. Can we stop for a moment and focus on what is ectoplasm? Not everybody knows, and I know a lot of us want to find out what this stuff. You know, Ghostbusters was a thing in a movie, right? But in real life, there's ectoplasm. It's a real thing, guys. I know most of you know, but some of you, like myself, I've never seen it in person. So let's talk about this for a moment.
Well, everybody has a certain amount of ectoplasm. It comes from your plasm, and it comes from your spinal cord. Okay, that's where that's where they
blood plasma or something like that.
Yeah, we all have all different types of plasma. So most physical mediums who are materialization mediums will have an abundance of ectoplasm. So some mediums also work with energy. Now I work with energy too. And energy can do all types of phenomena, just like with the ectoplasm. But ectoplasm, you need more dark because the light diffuses it. And you're going to see that in a couple minutes in one of the photos where when we're here home and we have in person, we keep the cabinet. The cabinet is where I sit, and it's a curtain 4x4 little kind of like a tent.
Yes.
And so we keep everything closed and the light from the internet away from me, and things build up in the dark much faster. So then when he opens, I say, let's play like 3 or 4 songs, depends on the songs. Right. Then I'll have him open the cabinets so that the people online can see what's going on. And I have a wonderful photo coming up of half of a body, the whole, like the torso, the legs, the feet, there's even clothes on. And so we don't know if the whole body was fully materialized before the curtains got open, or if it had enough time to fully materialize. But
is this the one where you're sitting and there's like a pair of legs next to you?
Yes, facing me. And of course, yeah. And it was very solid looking, like this lady here, she looks a little transparent.
Right.
Kind of like on a negative you would see on a photo.
Right.
But what you see up above there, that red, that's coming off my hands, because you can see the ectoplasm flowing out of my hands during circle. And when it's moving and bubbling, it's like active.
So ectoplasm doesn't have to just come out of like your nose. Like I've seen photos, like it comes out of your nose or orifices. It can actually come out of your hands, you're saying?
It does on my hands, yes. It does come out of my mouth and my nose, though, and my eyes. And it's black until it picks up the photons of the light. So in this case, it picked up the photons of the red light.
Amazing. Shall we go to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the next picture. Now, by the way, guys, I did my best to share them. And if you don't see anything, or if you see something and it looks different, just know that whatever you're observing is perfectly fine. And if you don't see something, don't worry about it. I totally see a face here.
So it's like a profile. That bigger picture, if you see the profile of the nose. So this, I got an old chin, I'm like, they make use of my flabby chin and my neckline. So sometimes they pull my neck out, like everybody's like, oh my God. Afterwards, they tell me, I don't know how you could breathe. They like to play and blow up my neck.
Wow.
And so this face was here, blown up.
I see 2 eyes and a nose and a mouth.
Yeah.
I see very clearly this one. It's quite amazing to me, actually.
And you could see the layers on the one, the one on top where there's 2 photos. You can kind of see the layers of it building up.
Yes. And that's your actual mouth on the bottom, right? That's your physical mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. This is just totally amazing, guys. Now here. Now, is this ectoplasm coming out of your hand right here?
So that's kind of like what you saw in that other picture, but this is farther away and coming out of my hands.
close.
over.
Let me see if that's next. No, it's not next. Oh, that's amazing too. All right.
Okay, yeah, next one. So
Oh my
that's
God.
basically, so this one, I mean, my face is gone. It almost looks like Donald Duck, right? I don't even know what that looks like.
Like, I don't know, like the Elephant Man, or like but not Donald Duck, but it looks like that. There was a movie, Howard the Duck, years ago. Actually, it looks just like that to me.
Yeah.
There's so much imagery in this photo.
Yeah.
But your face is gone.
Yeah.
Right? And your hands are gone too. By the way,
Right. My fingers are like gone. Yeah. Sometimes they elongate my fingers, and you'll see like, or two of them will come out like an alien, like very long. So
wow.
I think it just depends on what they're trying to do or who's there trying to work.
Yes, I understand. Oh, hang on. All right. Well, I'm going to read this first, but I wanted to ask about. Give me 1 second. One of the things I love about Julie is that she said she's a mother, grandmother, and has many responsible, significant jobs, and is a down-to-earth, modest person. So many people get their egos blown up when they're able to do these sort of physical mediumship. But as you can see, that is not Julie. Totally, of course. Yeah. And Julie, are you in a chamber? So how can you explain? And also about the lighting. So two different questions. And what kind of camera? Oh, sorry, there's a lot of questions. All right, so let's start with this one. I think this is the first one. Oh, have a good night, Janine. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the replay, my friend.
Thank you, Janine.
So how do you take the pictures? Is there a special camera? Is this your cell phone? What kind of camera?
No, we're on Zoom anyway. So there's screenshots from Zoom. Although my husband's going to start, he's looking to order a night vision camera.
Nice.
Since we've started having so many full beings walking the room.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, that'll be exciting to get those captures.
And low light. So I know you mentioned sitting in the light. So you also mentioned ectoplasm. I believe you can see in the dark, not in the light. So you sit in the dark and the light. Can you?
Yeah, I like to start out in the dark. When I sit by myself, for practice, just sitting, I always sit in pitch black. And if I'm sitting in a regular seance, a lot of times Mychael and I will pair up, Mychael Shane. It's dark. It's total darkness. And then there's even more phenomena. Wow. But so for us to get this type of phenomena with the light, it's really, really good. But I've always been like I want to be transparent. I want people to see. I figure if I can get phenomena in the light and people can learn, if it takes me longer, that's okay. I'm just doing it anyway, whether I'm not doing it for accolades. I'm doing it because I want to help people understand there is life, and they'll work with you, and it's all part of natural law. There's nothing scary about it.
I love how you're bringing this to the forefront, because physical mediumship, it's my understanding, has kind of been in the closet. No pun intended, but that's kind of good though. In the closet, in the cabinet. Physical mediumship been in the cabinet for a long time. I was reading some of the history. It started like in the 1800s, and there was some controversy or whatever. But it was never like, well, of course, right back then you probably got killed for it or something. But we're in a time now where you're one of the absolute spiritual thought leaders bringing this to the world, using the internet, using technology, connecting spirituality and technology in this amazing way. You're really one of the first. You're a pioneer, Julie. You really are.
Well, and this is where everything is going. We are going to AI. We are going to be doing medical treatments. They're already working on 7D, 7G, 8G. This is the future. And that's what I've been told from my guides.
Yes.
They can work well with you through ether, through, Ethernet. They are in the ethers.
Yes.
It's all natural energy. We're the slow pokes here on Earth who think we're all high tech. We're very behind the times according to everyone else. Oh, thank you, honey. That's my husband.
But I love that he's interested in this as well. So the two of you are a team. I know he doesn't sit with you like per se, but right?
Well, he does. Now he does. He's been sitting for probably the last year, 8 months, and even people that he's worked with have said, I don't know what you're doing, but we notice the difference in you.
Wow. Okay. I apologize, John. I didn't know because I always see, Julie doing work with Mychael. I didn't realize that you were part of this so much, so significantly a part of this. This is wonderful. What a great partnership that is. Man, how cool is that, guys? Oh, I love it. And I hope I don't miss anybody's questions, but I'm going to do my best to get everybody. So Mary's saying she's interested in spirit photography. Tracy asks, is red light always preferable, or can you use colors such as blue?
You can use whatever you feel works best with you. I am more, I feel better in red.
Okay.
I like the red better. I have tried blue and I've had results with blue, but for some reason I just feel better working with the red light.
So it's a personal choice, basically, is what you're saying, right? If anybody else is sitting with
or your guides, you'll know by what you see what happens. Like maybe nothing will happen if I switch to a green light. I don't know. But so it's not only me, it's how can they work with me in the different rays, in the different colors. So it's trial and error, really. Just keep trying and see what you feel is better.
Absolutely. That's an interesting question. Shell asks, what is on your shoulders?
Oh, that is a towel.
Okay.
Because I always put a towel for my head, because otherwise I either fall straight forwards or like I'm out and I can't hold my head up.
That makes perfect sense. And that was a great question. Bonnie says, can everyone see the woman's face superimposed over Julie's right shoulder?
Yes, I can.
I don't know if everyone can see it, but you can, and that's really cool. Julie sees that. I see so much going on in this image. I also see on your body.
Yes.
But it's incredible. And I personally will say that I didn't used to see these things, but a few years ago when our mutual friend Julie Keatle, because she takes these beautiful pictures in trance, I've seen many of you. And so I started seeing spirit with my physical eyes. And then since then I do it all the time. Now it's very easy for me. But I remember when I first started, I'm like, what's everybody looking at? And now
Yeah. And you need to like unfocus your eyes. Like look at things very softly. Or sometimes you might see spirit. I think we've all said we see from the peripheral of our eye, and then when we look, we can't see it anymore. Yeah. And there's a reason. So you just have to softly gaze, and and it will open up your vision, kind of like when you're playing around with your camera lens.
Yes. I love that. And what's interesting for me, sometimes I'll take off my glasses because I can sometimes see spirit better without my glasses on.
Yes.
They're less focused. So that goes right along with the soft gazing.
Yeah.
We'll go to the next one. Let's see what it is. This one. Now
there's my buddy.
I see another pair of legs, Julie.
Yeah, facing me. So that spirit person was facing me. And you can see my husband is here in person.
Is that his hand in the front?
Yes.
A pen in it or something like that, looks like?
Yeah, I don't know what he has in his hand.
Okay. So that's
him. And you can clearly see the feet, the legs, the shorts or pants. Yeah. Because it's like you're wearing capris. It looks like you're wearing capris, and it almost looks like there's another you standing next to you and looking at you wearing like a similar outfit. Yeah, there's an orb there. And we frequently see orbs. Well, I don't. They do.
Right.
Spirit lights. Like we get a lot of orbs. Oh, yeah. Remember, Maria? I remember that. Yeah. And lots of orbs. Some big, some small.
Julie says a large face with a mustache on your jumper. Is that in the last picture, Debbie? Because I was seeing that big face where the heart chakra as well. Do you see the legs here, guys? I mean, I kind of feel like I think I'm like
incredible. Yeah, that was a really incredible caption. We've got a couple different angles of that.
Yeah,
like that is so rare.
This is amazing. Yeah, this is an amazing picture. As soon as I saw that when I was putting this together, I said, "Oh my gosh." Oh my gosh. So let's go to the next one. Now this is a close-up of the ectoplasm.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From before when you had it was coming out of your hands, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So sometimes it gets blurry, more distorted when you blow them up, but I wanted it to be visible for you guys on,
Yeah. And sometimes you can see it fall to the floor from my hand, and there'll be so many faces in it, like face after face, like dripping faces.
Wow, in the ectoplasm, you're saying there's faces in the ectoplasm and they fall to the floor.
Out of my hands, like they're just dripping and they're lighting up. It almost looks like ping pong balls and then movement and ping pong balls, like balls of white stuff.
Right.
It's crazy.
Absolutely amazing. Amazing. So this one, now this is a still image, and I know you're going to tell us what it is, but I have to say, when I first saw it, I thought, what is this? And then as I was looking at it, I see, and I don't see it right this very, I see a woman sitting on the side of a bed, and I even saw this turned into like a video for me from Spirit, I saw it moving, even though it's a still image. That's what I personally saw. But please tell us what this photo is for you and for those that were there that night.
Okay. And this, maybe on your Facebook page, you could post this one. Actually, I have it on mine because this was from the Journey's Path. I just did a seance myself last month. And so they told me, and we had everybody holding hands. So I know people think, well, how do you know someone else is not doing some of the phenomena? When I'm doing something like this, I ask for everyone to hold each other's hands. So nobody thinks if they get touched, it's their neighbor touching them. So it's for that reason, but it's also for my protection because I have full body manifestations that will walk around. And if somebody touches them, it's very bad for me because the ectoplasm would snap back into my body at record speed. But so this, full form, there's a head, and I was told it was Master El Moria. Wow. And during this, there was an alarm pad or something on the wall there, and all the sitters kept saying that it was lighting up, and it only lights up if you touch the touch screen, and then it lights up. Well, there were 4 or 5 times during the seance that it was lighting up. And then when this was caught in one of the pictures, it was like, well, now we know who was lighting up and touching that.
And where was this taken? Was this next to you when you were sitting?
This was actually that was outside the ring of the sitters. So they were all in a circle, and this was like to my right, 2 or 3 people up.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So during a seance, phenomena can happen anywhere in the room. Is that?
Yeah. People were getting touched.
Wow.
People were getting, some people get touched on the head. Some people, they'll touch their heart space. It just all depends. Sometimes they'll take their hand and go like this, like to console them.
Right.
So it's really good when they're holding each other's hands because they can't say, well, it could have been you. It could have been this guy, So it helps. It helps with people understanding that it could really be spirit.
Now I want to talk, and I know this is another image of the one with the feet and the legs, but this is a perfect opportunity to talk about the protocol, because I've never been to a seance in person yet. I intend to be one of yours for sure. So you were explaining off camera that there's a protocol about people being wanded to make sure they're not bringing anything into the circle, and that so tell us about that, please.
Okay. Yes. Every physical medium follows protocol for the safety and the authenticity of the seance. So we all have a metal detector. You're wanded with a metal detector. Some mediums have something where they can detect if somebody has a camera in their eyeglasses or something. I don't have one of those.
Right.
But you're physically patted down, your hair is checked. We have a female do the females and a male will do any of the males.
Right.
No shoes are allowed. No shiny buckles, no jewelry. Because what's to stop somebody, from saying, well, maybe, that ring was an apported or that necklace, because
I had my ear or something.
Necklace,
Sure.
So This way, it eliminates all of that. Plus, it's safety. Nothing in your pockets, no electronics, no phones, unless you're designated and using, equipment yourself. But no clapping, no stomping, no raising your hand up or around, putting your hand out, because you could touch an ectoplasmic, being.
Okay.
Unless you're told to. Now, in one of my seances before the apports rained all over, they were told to put their hands up and ask if they could feel the energy, that there was a white mist all around the room. And when they put their hands up, they said it felt like electricity. And then after they were told to put their hands down, that's when all the apportation happened. So
amazing.
But yeah, no, nothing. And also, the medium is strapped into the chair. When you're doing a public seance, you're tied. Some mediums tie their legs as well. Some, I know Mychael Shane puts water in his mouth and uses a gag.
Water in his mouth?
Yes, and it's very, it's very dangerous. That's to show you that's his level. He wants to go to show you that whoever's talking, spirit's talking with direct voice or through the trumpet, it's not him.
I see.
So, and then afterwards, he's done, he spits out when he's done, and it's the same amount of water. I mean, they draw a line on the cup. So,
but wait, what about with the apports? Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I know, like I've never again. So when you do you do apports from the mouth or as well, or
I have
images of Mychael Shane and the apports are coming out of his mouth. So I'm wondering about the water and that, but I don't want to focus on him. I want to focus on you.
I have asked not to personally, because people can be really mean and they say all kinds of stupid stuff. So I personally asked for them not to, because there was a time I felt it was going to happen. I knew from what I was feeling in my mouth, and the way it happens for me now, they're either coming out of the trumpet sometimes, or, they're raining down from the ceiling, and I don't feel anything because I'm in trance.
Right.
I'm good the way it's happening. And I know they're going to be coming out of my hands sometime. Like the larger ones will be, because I'm getting so much ectoplasm in my hands. So that wouldn't surprise me.
Wait a minute. So you're thinking that way it can come out of your hands, the apports?
Oh yeah. I mean, they could come out of anywhere.
I mean, sometimes it comes out of his eye sockets sometimes, and I've seen.
Yes, they could come out of your ears. They could come out of your nose. They could come out of anywhere.
A little scary.
Belly button, anywhere.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So Andrea's asking, I think we just answered that there are so many questions that these phenomenon bring up. Could you comment on what we just did? So that was a great question. Very timely.
Timing.
Yeah. Right.
Psychic.
Oh, wow. And Wendy says, and your solar plexus. Mary says, perhaps explain how it is possible for apports to manifest. That's a great question. Can you explain that? How apports actually manifest at all? It might be a question for spirit.
They manifest physically, they manifest through a vortex that is created.
Okay.
Between the spirit world and you. Okay. So literally a vortex. But some of them are created with alchemy, like Saint Germain. He can create things. He can create special gems, or they can be brought from one place, treasures that were buried under sea. They can just be transported, dematerialized from one place and rematerialized in the here and now. So they travel through time and space. So it's really like more of a transference of an object, because there's been mediums who, have brought through live flowers, live animals.
Animals?
Yeah, but we won't talk about that because you'll have people on you. So, but yes, anything is possible. Anything's possible. And a lot of times, I never really thought about feathers and coins, but I apported $2 silver the one time, and Now I'm wondering about all those pennies. So pennies from heaven are actual apports too.
Oh my God, I get them. I get change all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if it's something that you know for sure wasn't there, like the other day, ready for company on Christmas, and I, had shook out the rug. I was cleaning the bathroom, and I had just laid the rug down, and I heard a whoosh and a clump, like a clump.
Yeah.
And then there was the penny, So, but I'm talking about more apports
within the seance.
Yeah.
We're going to get to those pictures. Those are at the end of the presentation.
Yeah, they're in the end. So, and they form from a gas, just like anything else, from a gas to a vapor to a liquid to a solid. Just like, when a helicopter is spinning so fast, when something's so high vibrational, you can't see those propellers, right? When they're going so fast, they're invisible. Only when they slow down. So that's kind of like what's happening. They're moving at such high vibration. And when they slow down and get in this dense 3D world, they turn to solid. And you can see them.
You're right, Wanda. That was an excellent explanation indeed. Wow.
Thanks.
So this is a video, and it's a very short video, but I'm going to play it a couple of times and let Julie talk about it. I see so much going on here.
Okay, so one of my guides, I have a couple chemists and physicists, but one particularly is Heinrich Hertz, and he developed how to measure electricity. Get Hertz, how to...
Hertz, sure.
Yes, so we get a lot of electrical activity, and we also get like literal lightning in the seance room, because I also have a Native American chief thundercloud. And so we just get a lot of electrical activity.
Wow. Amazing. I love this one. I see a face. I see a whole huge head right there. I'm looking right at him.
Oh yeah. And it's almost like it comes alive 3D, because sometimes there'll be faces pressed out of the fabric behind the wall. Like something's pushing a face through, or even on my neck, we've had faces come through that it looked like somebody was trying to get out,
Wow. And now this is called transfiguration. Am I correct? When it's on your body, or am I?
Realization, because it's building out. It's building out. That's the ectoplasm. It's transfiguration when it's like, it's different, but it's more of a 3D effect when it's the ectoplasm building.
Gotcha. All right. Most of this is new to me too, guys. And obviously it's not new to all of you, because you're, oh my God, exciting. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Oh, that's the same one. And I love it, but let's go to the next one.
Oh, okay. So here, you see from my hand what's coming down.
You can lower the volume here. I can. I apologize. It's almost over, and then you can talk about it.
Okay.
It's loud. The music is great.
Yeah. Okay, so see how my hand looks like I've got black stuff in it?
Yeah, like you're holding a ball or something, right?
Yeah, and it's dripping down. So it comes out as black, but once it hits the light photons, like from the camera, because the camera would have been in the front.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like balls, right? Like orbs connected with this ectoplasm.
Yeah. I'm showing the rest of the video. It's a few more seconds.
Sometimes in my hair, faces will appear. They'll use anything they can to materialize.
I see a face right there in your hair, actually.
Sometimes I pick my hair up and it goes way up, and it'll, and then it'll come way down. Or they'll take my face and it'll get like somebody pulling on it, like 3 times bigger than it is.
Wow. Do you feel that? I mean, your physical face or the...
No, I don't feel a thing. No.
Wow. Is music... That's a good question. Is music playing all the time to keep your vibration up?
Yeah. Yes. In physical mediumship, there is always some type of music or oming. You need... everyone all the people sitting are batteries. So you're sitting helping give the energy. So that's how, spirit can do it. They use what they can from the medium and the medium's body and fluids, but they also take energy from the sitters. And it's all given back at the end of the session.
I love this. Now, this is another short video.
Okay. There's my neck is kind of getting stretched, and there was a face on it.
Yeah,
It was a voice box. Sometimes they build it here, and it comes out here.
Is that ectoplasm in your mouth building up?
Yeah. But you see my neck, how it looks on both sides.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's moving too.
Yeah, it's like a moving, breathing blob of
That's incredible. You know what I'll do? I mean, with Julie, if Julie doesn't mind, I can post this presentation in my group, High Vibrational Mastery, the group. And
okay.
So if you guys want to watch, is that all right? Okay. So if you guys want to watch the presentation again and take as much time as you want, you can do that in my group. And if somebody would be kind enough to post the link to my group in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. I think most of you are in there, but not all of you. So I'll put that there, and that's where you can find it. And I'll just show the rest of this in more seconds. It's amazing. I see all the energy moving right there, like in the neck, and I see the ectoplasm in the mouth, and oh my goodness. Next up, we have.
That's just a real quick one. I had a longer one, but I couldn't share it.
I love this one. For some reason, when you shared it with me in Messenger, it kept playing, and I just keep seeing faces just manifesting, and it's just incredible. The energy here is just amazing.
And even my hair, see how my hair is all a different color, and I have spirit eyes.
You had what?
Spirit eyes.
I see.
Sometimes they're dark with ectoplasm, but they appear open at times.
Yes. Oh my God, that's incredible. All right, here are Julie's apports. The next few pictures are that's what we're looking at here. So now, is this from? So these came from the ceiling. You apported. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. And which, was this a specific? Wow, that's just incredible. So they just rained down.
Yeah, this was in Cassadaga, right? Not at not too far from
actually. Lily. Okay, wait. Lilydale's in Florida. I thought Lilydale was in New York.
No, Cassadaga, New York. There is a Cassadaga.
Oh, okay. There's a Cassadaga, Florida, which is a spiritualist. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. I'm like, I live right near there. I mean, a few hours, but okay. Gotcha. I didn't realize that. Wow. So, all right. Next up, look at these gemstones. And do you guys hear them fall? And do they look this beautiful and crystal clear? Or do you have to wash them off or something? Or did they have any kind of spirit goo or something on them when they were? I know it might sound silly, but I don't know.
I don't think so. Nobody's ever said they needed to wash them off. I mean, sometimes they might be just a little bit wet still from the vortex, but it immediately, most of them are dry. By the time they hit the cloth or the ground, they're dry.
And do they fall on the cloth that we just saw in the previous picture like that? Or do they fall to the ground?
No, picked up. Mine usually fall anywhere in the room, around the circle or on,
Okay. Wow. I do have a question. So, and all right. So you said that you haven't apported from your mouth yet or anything like that, but you said you were feeling something in your mouth. What does it feel like? What did it start to feel like to you? Because I'm always wondering, does it hurt? Does it feel? And I know you said you haven't done it, so I don't want to ask too many questions, but when you've manifested that feeling, what was that feeling like? How could you describe that?
It was a tightening in my jaw, like my TMJ, and under my tongue, like between my teeth and my lip. I could feel almost like a chemical, metally kind of taste. Wow. And I had the impression, because this was not in trance, because you can apport when you're not in trance.
Wow.
So, oh, thank you, Wendy.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. And okay, so Marie's saying you just can't touch the apports right away. Why is that true? And why so?
Right. And they don't want any sitters, only whoever the circle leader says or the medium says to touch them.
Okay. Is that just a rule or like a ritual type thing, or is there a physical reason?
Well, we don't know, it's just for the safety of the medium and let them just go where they're going to go because they did come through the vortex produced by the medium.
Okay, that makes sense. She'll ask, are you tired after, did I interrupt you? I'm sorry. Please finish what you're saying.
Okay. The medium and spirit, I said.
Okay, thank you. She'll ask, are you tired after a sitting?
No, actually, I usually have a lot of energy. I am like buzzing for quite a while. Sometimes I have a hard time going to sleep. Because I sit at 7 p.m. So,
Right.
No, that's a myth. A lot of people, I think, or they used to say, it's no good for you. I think it is challenging to your physical body, but if you have a good relationship with your spirit team and you ask what you need, or is there something you can do for the medium's health? I personally am very energized, and I don't know. I think it's great. I don't think it's. I think it's good for me.
Yeah, I know for sure. I know I sit for trance, and I've been sitting for trance for several years now. I know that's amazing for me. So I feel like physical would probably be good too, right? Why not? All connecting with spirit. Andrea is saying, or Andrea, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I can hear apports landing. How cool is that? Suzanne said the veil is lifting. Oh, that's for sure. That is for sure. Next one up is, look at these apports.
And they're also beautiful, and they're also faceted, different, the different shapes and the different facets, and programmed to who receives them. And they're, like we're so multifaceted. So I feel like these gemstones really represent us and our beauty. And we always tell people to keep their apport with them, especially after midnight, to sleep with it within your aura, because those are programmed for the recipient for whatever they need, healing, education, to help with their mediumship, whatever it is they need, they get.
So how do you know who gets which apport?
Good question. So I tune in and I'm shown, I'm drawn to someone, or I'll see sparkles over their head. Just like if I'm doing platform mediumship, you kind of know the direction you're going, you know who you're with. So it's kind of like that. You're drawn. Spirit takes you there. Some people see a thread. Some people see sparkles. I see mostly sparkles.
Does anybody ever create a piece of jewelry with an apport, or that you wouldn't want to do such a thing?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is actually an apport, but this came in a setting. But yes, I have several jewelry pieces that I've had wrapped.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have them wrapped so they're not like stuck, right? So they're just because the wire. I know like the energy can still flow when it's wire wrapped.
It can still flow. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Wings, some people.
Andrea, thank you very much. Andrea, thank you very much. You were saying, Julie?
Some people even get like those little cages, like from Mychael's, where you can put scents, or I used to keep some in the cages and then wear them on my necklace.
I know exactly what you're talking about. You can just stick it in there and it just sits there in a little springy.
Yeah. Crystal cages. Yeah.
Yes, crystal cages. I didn't know what they were called. And Andrea says, yes, I had a piece of jewelry. And let's see. And she's saying, would you say that you generally, I'm looking at it in two places. Would you say that you generally have a higher energy for life than most people? Because that is something that I have felt about you.
Yeah, I've always, I've had my mentors say that too. Like, they're like, you've got a vortex. Like, they could feel it, Yeah, I do have a lot of energy, and a very, especially for mediumship and just life, just a zest for life. I think it's all a learning experience, and that's why we come here, to live life, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's more apports of Julie's. Wow. And there's little tiny ones and big ones. And
Yes. And Kuan Yin was one of the healers working with me. She's a cabinet guide of mine, by the way.
okay.
So this particular time, there were over 246. And
Wow.
they were all green except for one in the middle. And there were one or two tiny, like turquoise blue.
I
But
see. I
they
can
were
see just a couple. Yeah.
yellow,
Little.
white, and peridot. And it was more, for healing for everyone.
How fabulous is that? These are just so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Now, what are we looking at here, Julie? I know that's Mychael Shane, if you want to talk about all this.
Yeah, so this is one of the seances in Casadega that we did together at Neil's house. And so what's funny there, I got those two nice bigger black Apache tears.
Oh,
And
wow.
Neil's property, he does the Sundance festivals, and it's very Native American
Okay.
friendly. And so even when the coins came a time before when I was there, they were the buffalo coins, like the Native American buffalo.
Okay.
So always something associating that Native American connection. So I thought the Apache tears were really, confirmation.
Absolutely.
So you can see here in the top photo to
Yes.
the left, I'm still strapped in. So my hands are still tied.
Okay.
So that's another, with the medium being secured in the chair, it's not the medium. And anyway, spirit can take the medium right out of those straps, and have you walk around the room if you have full body trance, and if you're full body, spirit, they can take you right out of there. Now that hasn't happened to me yet. I'm still tied up in the chair, but
Right.
this particular seance, Mychael was lifted, and he's not a small guy.
No, he looks like a big.
Lifted, moved to the center of the room.
What?
And both of our cabinets were dancing and moved. Like they were not in the same place. And we had put a little bit of the glow in the dark tape on the top of our cabinets.
Okay.
People saw them. They saw them come together and move apart, come together and move apart. So when that vortex is going on, when the medium's in the cabinet, it really is. It's like a tornado wind. It's really moving everything. We've had our cabinets, the bars fall off. So,
Wow. Well, that's the end of the presentation. I don't have anything more there. That was amazing. Thanks for sharing all of that. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. So let me ask you that. Just give me. Let me ask you this, Julie. What is it like? What's the whole procedure when you're going to create a séance, and and what is the difference when you're working with another medium?
Basically, it's the same. I mean, we're both doing the same thing we would always do.
Okay.
We would just, it depends. Sometimes it depends on the room that we're working in. Sometimes we have our cabinets facing each other, or side by side. But basically, we just meditate a few minutes beforehand, and our spirit, that's why a lot of mediums don't work together in the cabinet like that, because you have to get the okay from your spirit team first.
Okay.
And our spirit teams work well together.
Excellent. Bonnie is saying my chair was moved with me in it at a seance in Casadega.
Yeah. Sometimes the sitters are picked up and moved, slid in their chair. Yeah.
That's amazing. I did table tipping. That's my physical experience so far.
Tipping.
I'm excited. I definitely have to be at one of your seances. Oh my God. So wow. So yeah. So you and Mychael worked together pretty. I know he was going to join us tonight, but he had another engagement, and maybe another day you'll both come back if you're drawn. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, sure.
but I'm just so excited to talk to you about this. Please go right ahead.
Well, we are open. So, we of course work, or, we work separate, and we, sometimes work together. So if anybody is interested in hosting us, usually you have to have a room where you could have so many seats.
Okay.
20 seats. And we have a lot of things coming up that maybe I should tell everyone about.
Oh, definitely. So wait a minute. So you're saying, like, let's say somebody in Florida or something like that has a house and big enough to host a seance with several chairs and all that, and the cabinet and all that. You guys will like fly in and do that?
Yeah.
How amazing is that, guys? Seriously. Oh my goodness. I have an apartment. It's not big enough, but I know. I'm all like, okay, who's got a bigger place than mine? Oh my God. Able to just move all the stuff out of the living room and just do it there.
Yeah. So it doesn't always have to be, a metaphysical venue, or a spiritualist church. I mean, it's nice when they're there, but the home circle and homes, that's really where a lot of important things happen. There's more love in the home. You get the vibration from the home. I feel, I love home seances.
I love that. It feels nice. It sounds nice. Kimmy is asking, can you explain the cabinets and why?
Okay, sure. Well, the cabinet actually was passed down from Moses, the size of the cabinet. So it's very spiritual, that size of the cabinet. But the reason for it is to sit, and the energy is condensed. If you don't have a cabinet, you could sit in a closet or a small room, but not with all your stuff in a closet. It would have to be empty to be.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's too much
and all that.
Yeah, by the time they spirit worked with all your clothes and settled all the, so it's to condense the energy. It's to just help that build up. And it really does work because it's sensory deprivation. When you're in the dark, that's where creation takes place. Babies are conceived in the womb and they grow in the darkness. Darkness is where creation happens. So, and the energy builds in a cabinet.
Absolutely. We're already over the hour, which is no issue for me. I mean, could you have a little more time, Julie, or?
I got a little bit more time. Yeah, I'm picking up my daughter and her family. They're coming in from Florida. They went to Disney, but not till 9 o'clock. So I have some extra time.
Okay, well, they're like near me. I'll say hello. All right, so guys, if you have a few more questions while Julie is still here with us live, and maybe she'll come back another day, and you know what, I want to address something, because not everybody believes in physical mediumship, and which is fine. Nobody has to believe in anything. You're welcome to believe in anything you want to believe in, guys. It's totally okay. All right, and no one has to prove to you anything else. You believe what you believe. That being said, so let's say someone is going to a physical medium. I know I had a plan of how I was going to ask you this, but I'm just going to throw it out there. And like, how will they know? Like, let's say you or I are going, well, not you because you already experienced, but someone new is going to go sit at a seance. How do they know what to expect? How would they know the phenomena is real? Even how do we know the phenomena is real? Well, you do.
Well, generally the medium will give a little bit of a talk first about what is to be expected or what could happen, because we can never guarantee that anything will happen. Mm-hmm. But it's part of the protocol and part of the circle leader's responsibility to explain like what could happen. They talk about that during the protocol, about being touched, about any kind of phenomena that might happen. And it's really, it's very nice to see people afterwards and the first time, what they've experienced and how they process it. And I've only seen the positive. Some people come out and they're just like, their mind is blown for a while, but then they'll call back in a day or two and say, oh my God, when are you going to do that again? Or when can I come again?
I'll be honest, when I first saw physical mediumship or heard about physical mediumship, now we're going back like, I don't know, many years. but not like decades. I mean, within the last like 10 years, I thought that can't be real. Honestly, I did. I thought that's because I had no concept. I had no frame of reference, guys. And so sometimes people just don't have a frame of reference and they can't conceive it. And it was only until I started sitting for trance, which I didn't know I was ever going to do either. But that happened. Elaine Thorpe's guy, Jonathan, actually told me that. I'm like, really? But I was drawn. And so as the more I develop, the more I understand. And so, I feel like it's going to be that way with many people. Some people will never get any of this. Some people will, get a lot of it. But I know for sure. Like I interviewed Kamuga, several years ago. He's amazing too. I just think it's very awesome. Again, I have to reiterate that you bringing this forward, and like I said, what did I say, coin the term before, like the phrase, like you're bringing the physical mediumship out of the cabinet and into the light. I just think that's so powerful, because in the past, I mean, and it's no secret, you can look online, I mean, and there, in the past there have been frauds or whatever, and stuff like that happens in any field, field.
Yeah, and I don't take anything like that personally, because people are all at a different level of consciousness.
Right, exactly.
So they don't even, some people believe in psychic work or their own souls having, clairs. So even Gordon Higginson was one of the best physical mediums, and he was called fraud. And Keith Milton Reinhardt, he did miraculous things, and the apports and the attention and the connection with the ascended masters.
Wow.
So I just feel like everybody is at a different spiritual level.
Yes.
And it is a natural progression to understand these types of things.
Yeah, for sure.
I totally understand at all, because this is one of the reasons why I do it. It's good to come in being a skeptic and being open-minded, and
I love what you just said. That's important, Julie, because I agree with you. Being a skeptic is a good thing, because then, I mean, otherwise you believe in everything. So if you believe in everything, that's gullibility, I think, but come in with a level of discernment and see what resonates with you, with anything, not just physical mediumship, but right.
Yes.
I think it's important, and then see what, because this is, everyone's creating their own reality. I just think this is amazing. Let's see. John says
so many different types. Oh, this is John. Okay. For people new to this, it's actually helpful to be somewhat skeptical.
Well said.
The medium is not trying to deceive you.
The medium's not trying to deceive you or make you change your beliefs. Believe me, you'll say, yeah, exactly.
Well said. Yeah.
Well said. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love it.
And there's so many types, and this might be the reason for so many types of phenomena. There could be the Bang sisters and Hoyt Robinette. They did a lot of precipitated art.
Oh yeah, precipitated art.
Mediums today are doing that. Also, there's some mediums of the past had just an ectoplasmic arm appear. The medium that worked with the Lincolns in the White House, and then there would be the automatic writing. So automatic writing is also physical mediumship.
I've been doing some physical mediumship without even knowing it. I do automatic writing, and this is really, really cool. So wait a minute. So there was a medium in the White House with the Lincolns.
Yes. If you don't know that story, there's a really good book on it that my friend, there's a lot between Marie and I and Andrea. Like, she had sent me this Lincoln book that I thought I ordered, but I had never sent it. But we have connections to the Lincoln family. Like, I literally have connections to the Lincolns through my ancestry. So, but yes, they worked with a medium, and she was a physical medium, and she didn't sit in a cabinet always. She laid down, and from her solar plexus there was a hand, an ectoplasmic hand that would come out and actually do the writing. So everybody works differently.
So it's not your hand. Wait a minute, because when I do automatic writing, it's my hand. or it's my typing, but it's not me. It's spirit working through me. You're saying
channeling it. Yeah, you're channeling it. Yes. So
so
there's
more like precipitated where they do the art in a right.
yeah, and the art appears. Yes, yes. So there's different types, and you can ask, well, why does this medium work in the light, and why can this medium only work in the dark, or why is this? It's also who is your spirit team, and how can they work with you?
Yes.
So it's not only you. It's not like you can set an intention or say, I'd like to try this or I'd like to try that. Let's see how it works. But ultimately, it's your spirit team working with you and how they can develop you and what they can do. So sometimes that's why, why can one person conscious channel and another person can only channel in the dark in full seance.
Right.
So it's all about your spirit team.
I love that. I love that.
And we're all different. So we're all going to have a little bit. There's no cookie cutter. There's no one way to do things. We can give you guidelines and follow the safety protocols, but when it comes down to it, we're all a little bit different.
I love that. I'm just scanning my questions because we've really gone through. I didn't even all the questions that I had written down. We haven't even needed them. But I just want to check and see if there's anything that I feel really like a burning desire to ask you before you go.
And we all are divine beings, so we all can do this. I know a lot of people will say, well, can everybody?
That was the question. So say that. Sorry, say that again. That was the question. Can anybody do this, or do you have to be born to do this?
Okay. Everybody can do it up to a certain level because we all are divine beings and we all have divinity in us. So it depends on you, on how often you sit. It depends on your spirit team working with you. So there isn't one thing better than the other. You have to understand that and allow spirit to work with you in whatever way they can. It's all divine work. But yes, some mediums have more ectoplasm that the spirit can work with to have these bigger materializations. But other mediums can work with energy and all kind of phenomena can happen too. You're not going to know until you try. So yes, I think everybody can do it to an extent or some form of it.
Amazing. And questions about Mychael, I would like to have Mychael on my show. And if Julie and Mychael would like to come back at another time together, that would be super awesome. Watch you both on the big movie screen. Awesome. That must look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that would be great. And then we can go in, then we can ask him more questions about his own mediumship. I want to focus on Julie right now, although they do work closely together. Yeah. But this has been amazing. I know you've got to pick up your daughter and hang on.
Go over some of our events.
Yes, I want you to tell them all about your events. But one last thing, if you don't have an opportunity to sit in a circle, can it be developed on your own? Great question, Cheryl.
Well, I sat with myself for years.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Fabulous.
Okay, because people say, well, you developed so fast, but I really didn't. If you count all those years I was sitting, I wasn't always sitting in a cabinet, but I was sitting.
I understand. All right. Yeah, please. Oh, that's interesting. Marie says everyone can learn to play the piano. Not everyone will be Beethoven. And that's true. That is true. Well said. Well said. Okay. So yeah, please let everybody know what you have coming up.
Well, we have a lot of classes. We have the Babaji Flame Meditation, and that is a very sacred class that's about healing. Okay, it's a healing modality. That's coming up next week, and we have a year-long mentorship, and I am so excited about this.
Wow, a year-long mentorship with you and Mychael.
Yes, the both of us.
Oh my God.
And we are going to teach you to sit in the cabinet, even for mental mediumship, because it helps. Mental mediums should be sitting in a cabinet too. I used to sit in my closet because, it works. Anyway, so we're going to take you from the beginning all the way through trance in that year-long mentorship. And that starts on the 11th. We also have a physical mediumship class online that starts January 21st. It's going to be for 8 weekends, and there really is a mechanics to it. So, if you're interested in it, get in touch. And in April in Chicago, Mychael will be here. I'll be doing some seances with him. We're going to be having a level 2 class in person here. And then also we're going to be going to Indianapolis on the 28th and the 29th to the Progressive Spiritualist Church. And we'll be doing things there. June 16th and 17th in Buffalo, New York. And I don't know if anybody has seen the advertisements for Lilydale for our physical mediumship in Victorian times. We're very excited about that. So there's going to be all kinds of opportunity. You pay one price and you can go see anything, any of the classes you want.
Wow.
So that's going to be amazing. I'm going to be one of the instructors. Mychael will be one of the mediums, a couple other mediums, and a couple other instructors. But that's June 17th it starts. So I know a lot of friends are going to be there too. So lots coming up. Then we're going to be doing some more classes in Lilydale this summer. So it's going to be a busy year, a lot of expansion. But I'm really happy about this mentorship. Because mentorship for us, we're not going to leave you hanging.
So if people really want to do physical mediumship, you're going to teach them exactly what to do.
Yeah, Mychael teaches. I help support in the physical mediumship class. In the regular class, I'm a teacher.
That's super awesome. Sorry, while you're talking, I'm just doing some tech stuff here. I'm grabbing my group link. I'm popping it in the comments.
Okay.
We're going to post Julie's advertisements for all her classes and stuff in the group, in my group, High Vibrational Mastery, the group. And so click on that, join my group, and you'll see that and the presentation that we shared tonight. It's only available in my group. I'll be putting that there tonight as well.
Oh, good.
All right. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll pop that in the link. You'll be able to watch the replay for this. Not only that, but in a few days, you'll find the last interview I did with Julie a few years ago. And I haven't seen it for years myself, so that'll be awesome. And you've been amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Thank you so, so, so much.
You're welcome. I'm happy to share. It was nice seeing, and I didn't get to see everybody, but I know you're here. I could feel you. Such a wonderful group. So thanks everybody for coming on. Thank you. Hi, Julie.
So thank you again. It has been an honor and a pleasure. And I thank you and I love you. And I love you all. Thank you so much for being here and asking great questions. And thank you for bringing your amazing energy and beautiful vibes. And this is the last conversation with C for 2022. And moving into... Yeah, and the first one on January 7th for 2023 will be the incredible trance medium, Debbie Charlton.
Oh, wonderful.
So that'll be amazing too. But Julie, you rock. Mwah! I love you. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.